All right, welcome to This Costa Rican Life. I am Justin McCarter. I am here with my friend Colin McRae. Colin sailed in the other day, and turns out we have a good friend in common. He's got an interesting story to tell about sailing, about Costa Rica, and about just being in the tropics. So welcome, Colin. Thanks for coming.
Man. Awesome.
Yeah, glad to have you here. As I said before, this is the first time we've ever had water up here on the table of the show. So I'd like to kind of, go back with our regular beverage of choice.
Sounds good to me, mate.
As I may or may not have told you, this is a conversation between 6 beers.
Right. So that's 3 each or 6 each?
So it's 3 each. It's 3 each. We tried 6 each to start out, and it just, like I said, it went bad. Like, yeah. And the 6 turned into 8 each, and then and it was like 6 hours. So
cheers,
welcome
man.
to the show, man.
Cheers.
So first, tell me a little bit about your sailing background, where you learned how to sail, and where you grew up.
I grew up in Auckland in New Zealand, and started sailing when I was probably... We had a little, they called it an Optimist, like a tiny little...
we have Optis here.
Yeah,
Just
you got everything here.
International boats.
But I really got into it. I bought my first boat when I was 16. It was a Hobie Cat. And then me and my friend just took that out every single weekend and just fell in love with the sport and just couldn't get enough.
It's amazing. You know, I got a job through friends when I was about 15, 16, rigging up boats in San Diego. And that experience, like you, that experience on a Hobie Cat changed the whole course of my life.
Yeah. It's honestly just an incredible feeling. When I first felt that feeling of sailing, I was like, this is unreal. Yeah. We got ourselves into all sorts of trouble sailing across the Auckland harbour and stuff, getting in the way of cruise ships and container ships. We obviously got no engine, so when you go for a big mission and you run out of wind, it's kind of scary sometimes.
Did they blow the horn at you? Like give you 5 horns?
Womp, like scary shit.
There's not a lot they can do to like move quickly if a Hobie Cat's in their way.
Yeah, and there's a big shipping channel coming straight in there. We're just sailing across the shipping channel. It was pretty reckless, but
those boats move fast. You don't realize, they seem like they're a long way away.
So fast, man. They're doing 20 knots sometimes, coming straight at you. It's wild.
Yeah, and so you ended up becoming a ship's engineer?
Yeah, so when I was 22, I did a degree at Auckland University. I did a mechanical engineering degree, and then I started working on sailboats. I realized really early on, even halfway through my degree, that I didn't really want to be a mechanical engineer in an office, because it sounded really cool when I started, designing boats or designing race cars or something. But then I realized it was just an office job in a suit and tie all day. Yeah. And I said, nah, that's not for me. And I moved to the Great Barrier Reef in Australia and started working on sailboats there, diving sailboats. Right. And from there I moved to the Mediterranean and started working on superyachts. Yeah. And became
I've seen some of those videos, and you're in huge engine rooms.
Yeah, enormous. These things are massive. And normally, my sort of niche size is 180 foot. So there'd be 12, 13 crew. And chief engineer. Usually have a second engineer working with me. And it's the best job on the boat.
Yeah, best job on the boat. Why? Because you don't have to deal with clients?
Exactly. We don't have to deal with the guests. Captain and engineer are held in sort of similar regard, where he just leaves you alone because you're so important to the boat running, and he needs you. Because captains don't often know all the ins and outs of the engineering side, so you get to run your own program and stay out of the guest's way, and it's the best job.
That sounds great. And then you got into Below Decks, the reality show, and all of a sudden people are following you around, right?
Yeah, I got a message on Facebook, and one of the casting directors was like, hey, we've just watched your YouTube channel. You look really comfortable in front of a camera, plus you're a chief engineer. It's a really hard role to fill. Someone who's a chief engineer on a super yacht and wants to be on reality TV. Right. Because of my degree that I said I got earlier, I got to fast track the process of being a chief engineer. So I was a really young chief engineer on super yachts. And I knew that being on that show would help my YouTube channel. So
so you already had a YouTube channel. We're going to get into you. You're in the big numbers as a YouTuber. You've become a sailor YouTuber, which is something that didn't really exist 10 years ago, 5 years ago, really.
Well, yeah, I think it would have started about 10 years ago, and there's a couple of channels like Sailing Delos, who are actually just right around the corner here. We were meant to meet up with them, but just missed them. They've been doing it for like 12 years. They've got nearly 1 million subscribers now, and they're just killing it. But yeah, we started 4 years ago, and yeah, we just ticked over 200,000 subscribers, so it was quite a big milestone for us.
And views, I mean, I don't know what the important things are. We just have started this YouTube channel. We've got, I think we've got 15 viewers, Tommy, something like that?
Yeah, about that.
Hey, it's going up every day, 15, 16, 17. It's trending in the right direction,
Humble
man.
beginnings.
Hey, yeah, don't forget to drink your beer, otherwise the show never ends. I told you,
We'll get through 'em. We'll
you're
get through 'em.
responsible for those 3 beers. I can't drink them for you.
Yeah, well, they say like if you're getting close to 50% of the views of your subscriber count, so I don't know how many subscribers you guys got, but if you got 20 subscribers and you're getting 10 views every week, you're killing
we're on track. We're on track.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. So what you do now? I've seen your great videos. They're you have great production value. You're going to beautiful places. You have lovely people on board your boat. It seems like.
Yeah. A lot of that's to do with the boat that we bought. So I had a business partner at the time, and we bought a 4-cabin Lagoon 450, 45-foot catamaran.
Yeah,
so there's
great
a
boat.
ton of space, and we can take 8 people, 2 in each cabin.
Comfortably.
Yeah,
Really
it's a big
comfortably.
queen-size bed. It's a super comfortable boat. It's a charter machine.
Yeah.
There was the most successful charter boat ever made, and we bought that originally to bring here and do surf charters to Ollie's Point and Witches Rock.
Great spots.
Yeah, so that was the original plan 4.5 years ago, and I'd lived here for a while in Tamarindo and Playa del Coco, and had a business plan, had a business partner. He still lives down in near Avellanas in Pinilla.
Yeah, nice.
And started making videos because it was a hurricane damaged boat. So when we were fixing it, I realized that story's pretty cool and it could be quite inspirational for people.
Yeah.
And the boat it's called a CTL. It was a constructive total loss. So it was destined for the scrapyard.
I saw pictures of it, giant holes, and
It was wrecked.
looked rough.
Yeah. And I got it for a really good price. I could never have afforded a boat like that otherwise. And spent months and months and months fixing it. Like, if you counted my hours that I put into that boat, it's a terrible investment. But I thought it was a worthwhile story to tell. Yeah. And I guess people kind of latched onto that.
I think that resonates with a lot of people. You know, for me, I feel like I love to sail, and I've sailed, for the majority of my life.
Yeah.
But I love working on a project on a boat almost as much as I love sailing. Like I love the getting into the minutia and making it work and making it look good.
Yeah. Do you think you'll get a boat again soon?
Well, I don't know. We got so many boats here at the sailing center. My life is just full of boat projects.
Yeah.
But I think I'll always have a boat.
Yeah.
I think I'll always have a boat.
But like a cruising boat? Like
I wonder. My wife, I got married 2 years ago, and really wanted my wife to love sailing. And the last 3 just little snorkel sails we've gone on, sick every single time.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah. I think it's just gonna have to be our little time apart.
Yeah.
But it's never gonna. I don't think I'm gonna get out cruising.
Yeah.
But I can enjoy your story. And,
live vicariously. Yeah.
I think a lot of people do that. Even here at the sailing center, I think a lot of people, they're stuck in their jobs and they're doing their thing. They visited these places and they love to see it and just kind of get that feeling back.
Yeah. And I know Jeff, our mutual friend.
Yeah.
He
Jeff Herman, I call him. Yeah.
I'll have to fucking steal that one. I know he wants to get back out there. He's asking a lot of questions about where we're going, and he wants to maybe buddy boat in the future. But yeah, I think once you're a sailor and once you're a cruiser, you've got that in your system for life.
The cruising lifestyle is amazing. It's so great for your body. It's creative. It slows your whole rhythm down when you're on the water for a long time.
Yeah.
What's your longest passage so far with Parlay?
The longest like non-stop one was probably only a week, 7 days. From Grenada, we went across to Venezuela, and but we've done probably 20,000 miles in the last 4 years.
Wow.
Come through the canal, found serious bulkhead issues with the Lagoon 450, and had to come back through the canal back into the Caribbean and start fixing that. That's where I met
Is
Jeff.
that what you were working on there at Linton Bay?
Linton Bay, yeah, on the other side of the Panama Canal.
The notorious.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things. Like we met Jeff and Lindsay and just got along really well. Had a surf with them, and then we're cruising up here. So I just thought, I'll reach out to them. See how they're doing, and they were great people. And here we are doing a podcast here now. Like it's
glad it
awesome
worked
how life just works.
Cruising life is nice like that. You meet so many people, and you don't know if you're going to see them down the road. I still kind of live my life like that. When when I'm parting from someone, I say I'll see you down the road. I don't say goodbye. Or, You never know.
Yeah, because there's these milk run routes, that everyone kind of does, and you touch base with people and you leave, and then you end up meeting again. So that our next big journey is going to be to French Polynesia. So we'll leave from Mexico across to there. But we've got a lot of friends that are already there, or they're going to leave from Panama to there. So we'll all meet up, in the middle of the Pacific, in the South Pacific.
That'll be amazing.
Oh yeah, big adventure.
You got a couple dogs.
Yeah.
Sailing with dogs. I just met a couple. They just bought a 48-foot monohull, and they've got a pretty big Labrador. And they're nervous about it. How's dog life been on board? You got a catamaran, you got more space for them, but
we got the space. Yeah, we got 2 like AstroTurf toilets for them out the back of the boat. So that's where they do their business. We try to take them to the beach every day. But yeah, it's a big boat. We've got the space, but a big dog on a monohull, I don't know.
Yeah,
that sounds a bit
find
sketchy.
out. Yeah, they need like little neoprene mittens or something.
Yeah, man. And those the monohulls like obviously heel over, so you got that whole aspect to it as well, where the cat's just pretty much flat.
Cats are good on board. We had a cat when we sailed down. We got a cat in Mexico.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The cat was amazing. We catch all this tuna. We didn't have refrigeration. It was just ice blocks in those days. So the cat would get, what would be like at Whole Foods a $58 piece of tuna just to snack on.
Yeah.
And then we made it down here to Tamarindo, and now I would say, like, he was like a tough cat of the sea from Mexico. And when you walk around Tamarindo, man, all the cats look like our cat. He populated that whole town.
A tough cat of the sea. Where is that cat now?
Well, he's passed. But
that was
it was a long time ago. We sailed 20 years ago.
Yeah. That was you and Jeff.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you about, crew and stuff. You sail with a lot of people on board, a lot of friends. What do you find to be the kind of common denominator that makes a good crew member?
What makes a good crew member? Obviously someone who wants to live that lifestyle. So we get some crew that come on that just want to sort of test the waters, and they realize that it's not for them. It's quick showers. We have to watch how much power we use. It's not easy just to go and get off the boat sometimes. Yeah. It's all via dinghy or paddleboards. It's a very particular lifestyle.
It's close.
Yeah, and super close quarters. So the ideal crew member is just someone who wants to have that adventure, learn how to sail, preferably surfs and dives and all those adventure sports, and just isn't a dickhead.
Isn't a dickhead. Interesting comment, Colin. That's on my list as well. Doesn't always happen like that. You feel like you're chosen non-dickhead to sail with, and then people change.
Yeah. I've learned to trust my intuition, and I'm definitely not perfect at it, but I'm getting better at so we always do some video calls, and you can just tell so much more by seeing somebody's face, the way they talk, what they're saying. You can read that energy. So always 2 video calls. When I first started, we were just kind of letting anyone on because it's just more fun.
Anybody that'll go, anybody who can make the time. For me, I find that the most important denominator is that athletic ability and also sense of humor. Jeff is Jeff has his faults. Don't think you don't. but man, he can crack a joke in like the worst situation. Everybody's down, something terrible has happened, or it's just gotten brutally hard, and he will just crack a joke and changes the whole vibe of the whole feeling of whatever problem you're going through.
He's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
He was
He's
just
really
with us
funny
for
dude.
a few days, and we had a bit of a traumatic experience with one of my crews. She nearly drowned, basically. And he's just cracking jokes the whole time, just lighten the mood, you know, like it was borderline inappropriate, but
he's a good waterman though. And he's,
incredible, man. I was on the boat when this was happening, and I was flying the drone, so I saw it all from the air. I couldn't hear anything what was happening, but Jeff came in with the tender and did this like rescue pickup of Haley and Lindsay and stuff.
In a heavy Witches Rock.
This is Big Witches, Big Witches Rock, and he just waited, saw his chance, and just gunned it. Lindsay was almost falling off the back, hanging on for dear life, and the swell came. It was just about to break, and he timed it so well. They like launched into the air, but didn't obviously flip. Yeah, he's I could tell he's done that before.
Maybe not intentionally, but
I was impressed.
He's been around. He's been around the block. He's had a lot of boats, and we had that crazy trip together when we were in our mid 20s. You know, and that trip also, like we were saying, you know, with sailing as a young guy, that changed my life in one direction, and then getting out cruising, you know, sort of also introduced me to Costa Rica and made me feel like I could live down here and and have a good life. And sort of been like that. What do you think is what's drawn you, other than just sort of being a sailor, but what appeals to you the most about the cruising lifestyle? I think I maybe sort of asked that question already. I'm almost done with this beer. but it's a subtly different question. You know, what's drawn you to want to keep exploring and not, you know, settle down in a place like a lot of people do?
Yeah, my motivation might be slightly different to your average cruiser. We did the whole hurricane damaged catamaran thing, and then we had a bunch of people saying, you can't take that boat around the world. You can't. A Lagoon 450 is like a charter boat, like a coastal cruiser, let alone a blue water boat. And then you've picked one that's hurricane damaged, it was actually sunken on one side. Yeah. And I just, from that moment, I was like, screw these guys. I'm gonna do this. And it's just been my life's mission. Like, I'm just so determined to, basically nothing's gonna stop me. And so my motivation to get around the world is just to show people that if you set your mind to something, like literally anything is possible. Yeah. And we're trying to show that through our videos, and people are responding to that. But yeah, we still got our doubters. We got a few haters, and it's like, I'm gonna prove these guys so freaking wrong, and just take this boat around the world.
That must be kind of difficult, you know. Like I like positive reinforcement. Okay, all right, just checking. Just checking. I mean, I know you're New Zealand. I would imagine 99% of your feedback on the show is awesome, but you must get some trolls out there. That just like, that's how they like to live their lives, is
100%.
Giving people a hard time.
Yeah, and the thing about like YouTube and Instagram, well, Instagram less. YouTube is completely anonymous, so you don't get a photo, you don't get a name, you just get this made up name and a little whatever they want to put there.
Captain Jim.
Yeah, Captain Jim from San Diego. Right. And you don't know who that person is. They could be like a 12-year-old kid sitting behind the computer just fucking with people. Yeah. And it's hard to not let it get to you.
Do you respond? You just get under your skin? You just let it go?
I don't anymore. Yeah. Unless it's like a technical sort of constructive criticism, which hits you deep, but like you've got a good explanation for the reason you did something. I'll respond to those. But if someone's just like, you guys are a bunch of wankers, like, like a lot of people think we're rich because it's a nice boat now.
Looks
but
good.
So they're just like,
looks
oh,
good
you're a bunch
there.
of.
I don't know if you can see it here in the shot, Tommy, but Parlay's sitting out there with those people. We got to move those people out of the way. Anyway, it's looking good out there.
Yeah, it's in the shot.
Classing up the neighborhood, man. Thanks.
It looks good now.
Yeah,
It didn't always look like that.
Well, you know, you polish that little
Turd.
you polish that dog turd. It's shining up now, shining nicely.
People have said you couldn't polish a turd. Well,
prove those guys wrong too.
Look at us now.
So what's next? What do you think? Like, is there anything else that's major to fix on the boat at this point? Is it just maintenance and ongoing?
Yeah, you know what boats are like. It's genuinely never ending.
Yeah.
But there's no real outstanding major jobs. We've got some upgrades. Yeah, like we've got to install a radar and stuff like that, but nothing structural like we've been dealing with for the last 4 years.
Yeah. So you'll head up the coast to Mexico. I would imagine surfing along the way.
Yeah.
Surfing's a big part of your trip.
Yeah. Everywhere we're going from here on out is a surf spot basically.
Yeah.
The Caribbean, not so much. So we enjoyed the Caribbean. We got stuck there for longer than we wanted to, but not the best surf. But places like Bocas del Toro and stuff were incredible. But yeah, so surfing's a big part of our life, and it's just the most incredible feeling. Like we were just anchored at Ollie's Point. Yeah. Just scored it so good the other day, and just to be able to go back to the boat, sleep, and then do it all the next day right there when everyone's paying to come out on these pungas.
Sure, and they don't get there for a few hours, so even if boats show up, you still got that early morning session.
Yeah, and it's just the most incredible feeling, and that's the reason we bought the boat, was to surf and live on a boat.
Yeah, nice. Did you grow up surfing in Auckland?
I started late. I started when I could start driving, so around 15, 16 years old. I live near a surf beach, but it's a real steep, windy road down to it. It's called Piha in Auckland. But yeah, so I started kind of late, so I've just been playing catch up for the last 20 years. Yeah. No, it's surfing and sailing. They have a lot in common, but that's great. So where are the places you're going to hit in Mexico? So I might have to go back and do the TV show again, Below Deck. I'm not sure. Yeah, they want me to come back, so we're negotiating a few things, but that changes everything. You know, that's a big part of the year. Does
that mean you would go into they've got a boat that they're going to film on, and you would become the chief engineer again? Yeah. Captain, crew, everybody kind of sexy and ready to go and ready to have intrigue and conflict and
all of the above. It's it'll be the same boat.
Is it alcohol fueled? Is that
absolutely? Yeah. Everyone, like, the most common question is, are these reality TV shows scripted? And the one I'm on, Below Deck, is 100% not scripted. Right. So the way that they get the drama and the entertainment is through alcohol.
That's what we do here too.
Cheers to that.
It's learning from the best.
But so we'll do like a 2 or 3 day charter. This is a 180 foot catch. Right. So I'm on the one that's a sailing boat. Wow. The other two franchises are motor yachts. And so we'll go in and we'll do a 2 or 3 day charter. The guests are paying to do the charter. It's like 30 grand a day or something. So they want good service. So they're really, quite difficult to deal with sometimes. Plus they want to be on TV, so they're trying to stir shit up.
For being on the show?
That's discounted,
Yeah, but they've all want to, have the zinger lines too. Totally working at it.
They want their 2 minutes of fame. So they're causing drama, they're complaining about the food, looking like they're all posh and shit. Half of them aren't even that rich, but they just want to be famous. They just want to be on TV. But so then we'll finish the charter, and then we'll have a tip meeting, like celebrate how much money we got as a tip, and then from then on it's just drinking until the next charter, and then so they just.
Wait, how much time is that? How
only
how
24 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we drink all night, party all night. They'll take us to a restaurant. It's all paid for. Just feeding us shots and everything, and then the crew are exhausted from the charter, and then we'll do it again the next day, a charter again. So we'll do that charter.
Just reeking of alcohol.
Reeking of alcohol.
Like the fumes, just kind of
hungover, sleep deprived. Yeah, and then it does that for 6 weeks, 24 hours a day.
Film. For 6 weeks. Yeah. Ooh, and no kind of downtime. You take the season, you get as much out of the one season as you can, and then you.
Yeah, in that 6 weeks, we get 3 days off. They call them dark days, and those aren't even for us. They're for the film crew to have a rest.
Oh, really?
So it's a 24-hour rest. They put us in a hotel. They take our phones and laptops so we can't talk to each other. So there's no off-camera stories happening.
Right.
And bring us back on, and then they edit it so that never happened. But it's so that the camera guys can they're carrying these massive cameras on their shoulders.
It's interesting.
It's insane.
See, Tommy, aren't you happy we have everything just sitting on tables here?
This is luxury right
Yeah,
here.
you could be carrying some big rig. You know, Fatanisa's probably going to be having you carry around a big camera, flying your drone at the same time.
I can do it.
I know you can. What do you think, Tommy? Would you go take the kids and Naphtali and get on a big boat, sail around the world?
I can't even swim, dude.
Okay, that's a hard no then.
That's a maybe.
You're an amazing floater, though. You know.
No, I sink.
No,
I'm an anchor.
come on.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
I get in the water and straight to the ground.
all right. Well, maybe it's not for you then.
It's not sounding good.
Just watch Colin's show then.
Yeah,
Just do that.
I'll do that. But if you need a camera guy, give me a call.
Yeah, man. Nice. Let's see. Dogs on
You got
board.
the job, mate.
All right.
So we're running real short on the drinking in this episode. You know, we've been doing a lot of talking.
Let's knock one back.
I feel like I'm halfway done here, and you know, I feel like I'm really letting you down and letting the show down, Tommy.
This is empty. No, it's not.
Mine either. So you're gonna go to South Pacific, and then what's the route from there? You're gonna, you know.
All the way to New Zealand, home country. That's going to be
Okay.
a massive milestone for us. And then up into Asia, go to the Mentawais, surf all around there.
Wow.
Probably get lost there for a little while. That's the ultimate for me. Like the best waves in the world. Pretty good sailing, good anchorages. Like that's going to be the highlight, probably of my life, being there on my own boat.
Right.
And then up through the Suez Canal, to the Med. And then once we cross the Atlantic back to the British Virgin Islands, that'll be a lap. That'll be a circumnavigation.
Wow. So far, what's been your favorite spot that you've
The
visited?
one that stands out for me, and I get this a lot, is a place called Los Roques in Venezuela. Only because so many people have told us not to go there. Venezuela's not a safe place to go to, but these are like the islands of the... Have you been there?
No,
Right.
but I know to have some Venezuelan friends.
Yeah.
And enemies, actually. It's another story.
We won't go there. And it was like postcard stuff. It was just picture perfect. And we were one of the only boats out there. And I'm glad that we took a chance and went there and gave it you know, may not have been the smartest thing to do, but what we saw was just incredible.
You're young, wild, and free. You gotta go where the wind blows you.
Yeah, man.
What are some other places people don't think about when they're, you know, cruising that maybe you have some interest in?
This coast here actually isn't very well cruised.
People cruise they roll straight on by us here.
Yeah.
We have very few cruisers that stop here.
Yeah, and it was kind of expensive to clear into the country. That's a big part for a lot of cruisers. A lot of cruisers are on a pretty strict budget.
Yeah.
And you know this coast, it's quite exposed. There's not a lot of like really good protected anchorages. We're on.
Just crunched that just so you know where I was in the process of, you know, creating this show.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Just
I'm down
don't
with
start
number
slurring
2.
your words, all right?
Yeah,
We'll
no,
be good.
that usually happens after 3, so we're good.
That's why this is 3. This is your limit.
Yeah, it's my limit. Yeah, I'm getting old, man.
That's your sweet
I'm getting
spot.
old. Ugh. Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry if I'm rushing you, but
Not at all. This is I'm talking too much.
we just, you know, you gotta hydrate, you know, you gotta lubricate.
There's water in these.
There's water here too. Luckily, we haven't touched it. We're talking about places that
what are we talking about?
that you haven't, that most people don't think about to cruise. Yeah, I think Costa Rican coast is interesting. You know, there's only wind at the top of the country and at the bottom. Like there's the middle of Costa Rica is a no wind zone.
Yeah.
We only get wind here because we're affected by the Papagayo winds and the Lago de Nicaragua there, and so we get the Venturi effect across the lake, and that's what creates wind in this area. But you go 2 hours south and there's no more wind.
Yeah.
So.
But you know, when you start cruising these areas, you realize the beauty in it, and if you get the right weather, just being anchored at Ollie's Point, like that is freaking amazing. There's not a human for like tens of miles.
Not a light at night, right?
And you're there all alone. You got this world-class surf spot right there. Like, it's a shame if people sailed straight past this place, which a lot of people, I'd say the majority would. I love this place, man. It's so good.
Yeah, there's some good stuff happening here. You know, it's a good time. You can have a good time here.
There's a good sailing school in Flamingo here.
Yeah,
I heard.
We say Potrero. We feel like Flamingo is it's a ridiculous name because there was never one flamingo in this place ever in the history of this coast.
And what does Potrero mean?
Potrero means the pasture.
Okay.
Like
Nice.
Yeah, it's peaceful.
So you don't like the name Flamingo?
No,
is that
no, it actually kind of rubs me wrong.
I can tell.
I get a little upset because it was just some name. Like, you know, Surfside is just some gringo made up name too.
Yeah.
You can see this is what always happens after that second beer. I get kind of ornery. I get to, you know, my anger issues start showing.
But that marina's going to be Flamingo Marina?
It'll be Flamingo Marina.
Oh, that's going to rub you the wrong way.
It does already, man. But it is attached there to the what they call the north point of Flamingo, the peninsula there. So
yeah,
I'll let them have it. Whatever. What am I gonna do?
It's overpriced
They didn't
anyway.
ask. Ooh, it's so expensive. Yeah. It's not gonna be any fishing pongas in there.
Nah.
It's gonna be an expensive place.
It's gonna be super yachts and stuff.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's nice to be here a little bit away from those guys because I feel like, you know, and Jeff feels the same way. I feel like we can always just say, yeah, you don't like it, you know, go back to Fancyland.
Yeah.
This is how we do it over here.
Yeah. No, I got to say, like, we've really appreciated just being anchored right there, and you and Jeff, like, we bring our dinghy up here and put the paddle boards up here. It's really rare to come to a country and feel secure, like especially in these countries, you know.
Yeah.
And safety's been a big thing, and security's been a big thing. But to be able to have you guys here, and like you got guards at night overlooking the boat, like
I don't know how effective they are. I got to be honest. But,
yeah, they're probably sleeping all night, but it just feels safe.
Yeah,
it feels really nice.
Yeah, Costa Rica's a nice country like that. You know what? I think that there's a lot of opportunistic crime in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
You know, snatch and grab, petty
100%.
stuff. But you don't really feel threatened. You know, it's not like people are looking at you like you're your target.
No.
I think, you know, if you leave your phone and go walk away, they might grab it. There is a big discrepancy between the haves and have-nots here, definitely. But it's a lovely place.
For sure.
Nice people. And
yeah, and as we're cruising around, like people talk about pirates. We've been in some pirate territories, but the pirates that we haven't encountered any, but we've heard of people, you know, on the same routes. Getting approached by pirates. They're not pirates, they're just like fishermen who are just seeing an opportunity, you know. And you don't know what their life story is, you don't know what they're going through, but they see an opportunity, they see a fancy catamaran or they see a nice monohull and they come up and they're trying to make ends meet, you know. And I sometimes think, you know, if you were in their shoes and you see this big fancy catamaran come along with a bunch of rich kids on it, you know, I might be looking at those same opportunities to feed my family.
Absolutely. You know, we talk about we have a small theft. I don't even know that it's that small, but there's a theft problem in Potrero and Flamingo where tourists roll in. They've, you know, got all their laptops and their stuff and their GoPros and their phones, and they go out to dinner and they come back and they've been cleaned out. And obviously, you know, I don't condone it. I don't think but I can certainly understand it if you were, you know, trying to make a living off of $3 an hour.
Yeah.
And those things were replaceable for a lot of people. You know, and even though, you know, like you said, you know, you're not a rich cruising boat. There are certainly a lot of rich cruising boats out there.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning piracy. I would like to just make that fully clear right now to you, Tom, and everybody, all 6 of our watchers at this point. So yeah, I don't condone it, but I could understand it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like people like us cruising through here, we're in their territory, we're in their home, you know. So we try to look after our stuff and keep ourselves safe, but like we're this is their land.
Sure, and on the flip side, you have great interactions with fishermen and local people. I'm sure you've had fantastic interactions. With people.
We try to like get involved with the local communities a little bit. Just recently an old man came with his fishing boat and his outboard wasn't working, so he like rowed up to our boat and we gave him some spark plugs and like he got his outboard going again.
That's actually great, because I got one right over here. It's not running right now. We can go after the show. Just take a quick look. I'm sure it's a simple fix.
Yeah. I'll be here at 8.
Good. 3 beers, 3 beer, engine repair.
Yeah, we'll do it between 6 beers.
But yeah, with Jeff and my trip down, we had these fantastic interactions. When we were heading down to Panama to go through the canal, we saw a boat with their nets out and they were fishing. We called them on the radio and they said, yeah, come on over. We got some fish. Just come on over. The nets are out, and they said, just come on right behind the boat. And just over the nets, we just went behind the boat. And they're like, what do you got? Do you have any booze? And like, yeah, I got a bottle of vodka, and I don't know, probably a couple porno mags. It was before the days where it was all online, and they couldn't have been happier. So they throw over first they throw over like a bag of shrimp, like shopping bag, like filled with fresh shrimp.
Yeah.
And then they say, wait. And they throw some snapper over that they've caught. Like at the time, like we've caught some nice fish here, but these were still the biggest snapper I'd ever seen. Like they would go on somebody's wall, in most places.
Yeah.
This is what they were trading for vodka and porno mags out there in Panama.
Lucky Jeff had a massive stack of porno.
Yeah, he always does. He always did. That's the thing about Jeff. He's a real big connoisseur of porno.
Yeah. He always says it's for trading, but
he always has a big stack with him.
It's for trading. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's for bartering.
Just kidding, Lindsay.
Sorry, Lindsay.
Not really. He really does. It's a huge stack. I'm surprised you haven't found it. Maybe she has. They're very open-minded, It's what makes it work. So, relationships. I would think that below decks would be like the antithesis of relation-making environments. I would think it would be like the opposite of an easy place to find a soulmate.
The opposite of an easy place to find a soulmate.
Yeah. What do you think? Please feel free to comment.
I'm not sure if the type of girls that they cast on these shows are soulmate material. To be honest, they pick and choose them very carefully.
Alcohol retention is probably high on the list.
Yeah,
you got to be
slightly
able to.
Psychotic.
Oh, yeah. Dramatic.
But on the, we all have to do a psych evaluation.
Really?
So we got to be like a little bit crazy, but not too crazy that you're gonna hurt someone. But
that seems like a good parameter.
So
do they allow you? I mean, you probably have access to sharp objects, and other people do too.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't be too crazy.
You gotta protect yourself at all times.
It's a crazy experience. Like if you imagine being filmed and mic'd up, like strapped to you for 24 hours a day. Yeah. It's and the things that you say, especially like under your breath or you mutter something, they love using those. So I get up from here and I'm like, oh, fucking,
for fuck's sake,
Justin's a dickhead. Yeah. They're gonna use that, and they make me look. Well, those are your real emotions. Those are your real thoughts. Those ones where you're talking to yourself are real. So they love using those. So I just kept my mouth shut. You know,
Yeah.
I was just no talking to yourself, no muttering anything under your breath.
Right, but that's not your real self. You didn't let your real self go.
No,
I feel like
I didn't.
I feel like we get your real self on your show. It's a real peaceful feeling from that show. It must be.
But even that, like it's YouTube. Like we're editing it. We're showing what we want to show. So
Sure.
it's not exactly like real either.
Yeah.
None of it is. The reality TV is like they edit it to make you look however they want you to look.
Yeah.
So if they want you to make,
Honestly,
if they want to make you look bad,
how do they make you look?
like an angel. Like
Really?
I did some really kind of unprofessional things. Let's put it that way.
Uh-huh.
And they left them out because it didn't fit the role that they wanted me to fill. Because I'm the chief engineer. I'm like
Sure.
senior. Me and Captain Glenn are like.
Captain Glenn.
Yeah.
Captain Glenn.
Who's an absolute legend, by the way.
Uh-huh.
But him and I don't know, we just get edited really well. And yeah, I'm just grateful for that because a lot of people watch that show.
That's good. Well, I mean, it can't be that far off. That's how you seem. You seem like an absolute angel.
Yeah, until I have 3 more of these.
With some slightly psychotic bits thrown in for good and fun.
But a healthy amount of psychotic. Yeah.
Yeah, and sarcasm. Sarcasm's important. I think that's important in life. I don't know. We always considered sarcasm like humor in my family.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that might also be an important attribute for good sailing partners.
Yeah.
So with the crew that you have, will those guys kind of just keep going until they go off to their real lives, or how does it all work? Because I know you got new video editors and stuff coming on now. And
Yeah. So the YouTube is making enough money now for me to like pay people to help me edit videos.
Mm-hmm.
So before that was just all me or ex-girlfriends or something
Right.
editing with me. Now there's enough coming in from YouTube to outsource that. Well, they
hear
live-
that, Tommy? It might happen for us too.
One day.
You can have minions.
Yeah, so it's cool. But some people come for like a week. Jamie, my like right-hand man, he's been on for nearly 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So anything in between that is what we're getting. It's
I saw
awesome.
some comment, about Jamie on the comment section that said everybody needs a Jamie in their life.
Yeah. He's an absolute legend. It's a shame he couldn't be here. He's going back to Australia. He works in remote communities, helping out the Aboriginal people,
Cool.
building homes and stuff there. It's a really well-paying job, so he'll go do that for a couple of months and then come back to Parlay and continue sailing around with us. So he's got a good thing happening. We get along so well. It's important to have that relationship with your first mate, your right-hand man. Yeah, so it's a good partnership.
Yeah, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. It's important to have everybody on the same page.
I feel like there's like a cheeky comment coming. You got that look in your eye.
I thought about it, and then I thought I will edit my little mutterings under my breath, and we'll just move along.
Yeah,
We'll just move along.
Tommy's gonna use that if I
keep it cool.
if I
'Cause
mutter
Tommy does
something.
not edit. That's the thing about these things. There's no editing. Like we've kept it pretty tight today, but we've had to edit things in the past.
Yeah.
But he does it sparingly.
Yeah.
He mostly likes to
Just-
see the whole.
just show it all.
Yeah. Just the warts and all.
Yeah. That's reality TV right
That really
there.
is. How's your beer?
Yeah, done. Yours?
I'm a little behind. I think I must have been chatting it up. Hey, Colin, thanks for coming on today,
No
man.
worries, man. That was
Appreciate
fun.
it. It's great having you. Great talking to you. Once again, thanks if you've made it this far. You've watched this much of the show. Thanks for tuning in to This Costa Rican Life, and please follow Parlay Revival and check these guys out as they cross the oceans and make it all the way around. Thanks for coming in, Colin.
Thanks so much, man.
Yeah,
It's
thanks
been
for
awesome.
telling me. We'll see
Cheers,
ya.
Tommy.
All right.